All right. It's such a good sign that we have so much energy, so many people talking so excitedly at 8 a.m. And some of you haven't even had your coffee yet, so I applaud you. Feel free to grab your coffee, your breakfast as these speakers are speaking this morning. Really, this is a place to convene, to consort, to share, and so I don't want to interrupt the networking. We're going to have a lot of networking breaks over the course of the day. But my name is Andrew Johnston. I'm the president of Energy Thought Summit. Zpryme Research and Publications has been putting on events for about 16 months now, and this is our 5th event, but it's our first meaningful one outside of Austin. We've had 3 flagship events, and we do one annually in the end of March, right after South by Southwest, our partner. But we came up to Chicago for essentially 3 reasons, and it was really interesting for me as I went to the Boston-Washington corridor, went down to Florida, went to Seattle, went to California, and they said, so you're doing an event in the Midwest. That's interesting, why? And I was sort of interested by the response. I thought it said a lot. I thought it said that people are just wondering why someone would go to the Midwest for a conversation around innovation, technology, hardwired inventions, real things being made. And I was surprised because I look back on the history of Chicago and the Midwest, and I think of Enrique Fermi, I think of Teller, I think of Argonne, I think of UL, I think of the change that has happened in the last 25 years across the United States, and what a huge part all the actors that are in this room have had to do with that. And it began to dawn on me that the Midwest perhaps hasn't told its story. If you look at Silicon Valley, they know how to describe themselves. If you go to Boston-Washington corridor, they know how to describe themselves. If you go to Texas, we know how to describe ourselves. But when you look at the Midwest and you look at the opportunity, the life cycle of businesses, of academia, of R&D, of startups, and you see the buzz of this region, it really hits close to home, whether you're in Detroit, Chicago, Minneapolis, Cincinnati, Columbus, Milwaukee, Racine. There is real human capital across this whole region. And I guess the main point is that technology doesn't innovate, humans do. You all have been a part of this growth in our industry, and you're key parts. And today we want to just have that conversation with you, and we want you to lead that conversation. So I won't be too long. I just have a couple of housekeeping items. Our venue has been generous enough to let all of our guests on the stage. So we are literally going to be seating you on the stage, the Armour stage, where Ricardo Moody and the Chicago Symphony Orchestra play from. I find it metaphorical but beautiful and poignant at the same time that we're all part of a symphony. This is an orchestra. When playing together, it can be beautiful. And I hope that the conversation today isn't only beautiful, but it perhaps sparks a new direction for a conversation for one of you. At some of our events, people have gotten their next job. People have gotten their next deal. People have found their new friend. And I hope that's what it is for you as well. The other housekeeping item, John Rowe is coming on at 9, and I'm super pumped about that, and I need to go prepare for that. But we're going to ask you all to relatively swiftly take your space on the stage. Sit down, begin to get comfortable up there, take your photos, hashtag ETS Chicago, and if you can, for while John Rowe is speaking, and while Anne Pramaggiore is speaking, and all these wonderful speakers later today, please keep off your phones. It's very kind to them. Maybe keep them on silent. But if you need to take a photo at the beginning, we get it. Just don't put a flash on someone's eyes. So without further ado, I just want to bring 3 people to the stage that I think really tell the story of what's happening next in the Midwest. And I'm going to lead with our hosts.